Hi there, it's me, Gamer Tyler here. I'm recapping Vampirina, Teenage Vampire, Season 1, Episode 2, first day of school. So Sophie, Jolie is simply impressed as V. Kinzai Richardson uses her super speed powers to decorate their dorm. Seems like it's going to be a great first day of school when Demi Mahalaka votes in with a ghost gram from the Vampire Council. V isn't in a hurry to open it, but Demi reminds her that as the first vampire allowed to leave transmitted in over 300 years, she needs to take this seriously. Opening the chest, the message plays through Demi, and the description of another item in the chest. A Van Helsing detector. V has to explain what a Van Helsing is to Sophie and defends her desire to follow her music dreams instead of spending her life hiding. When Eldra and Sean Dixon knocks on the door to escort the girls of the class, Demi hides. He doesn't see the device begin to light up. Brittany, Faith, Headley meets up with Eldra in the hallway, warning that he plans to change all his classes without his mom knowing. His mom keeps trying to call him with menacing music set as her ringtone. In songwriting class, Sophie learns that V is afraid of pencils, which she sees as mini stakes. Instead, V writes with an old-fashioned feather quill. Miss Ethanton, Jordan Clark, encouraged her students to start writing lyrics with the first word that comes to mind. Later, she's surprised to see that V has so many pieces of paper, crumbled paper. V tells the teacher that she can't find words to match the melody in her head. But she knows she wants the song to be about refusing to hide when you find where you belong. Between classes, V and Sophie catch Demi patrolling the halls with the Van Helsing detector, almost knocking over a suit of armor on Brittany. V wishes there were a way to prove to Demi that there isn't a Van Helsing at school. Sophie gets an idea. The girls sneak into Dean Merriweather's office through her upper store window, with Sophie climbing up and V transforming into a bat to fly through. The plan is to look at the enrollment roster and make sure there aren't any students that are with the Van Helsing name. Before they can do that, they hear someone at the door and have to hide. Sophie ducks under the table, and while V hides behind the curtain. Dean Merriweather, Kim Collis, enters her office, surprised to see her window open. She goes to close it when she sees a foot behind her desk. V thinks fast, turning into a bat and flying around the room, distracting the dean so that Sophie can scramble out of the office. However, Merriweather grabs a broom and swats Bat V into the closet, closing the door. V transforms back into a girl and on the other side and realizes it's a closet full of pencils. She screams, which prompts Dean Merriweather to open the closet door, surprised to see a student inside. Dean Merriweather threatens to expel her V, who begs to stay. Out of desperation, she uses her mind-controlling powers to make Dean Merriweather her biggest fan. It's not clear if it works on her. Eldra abandons her symbolists and sits in on a dance class. Eldra abandons his syllabus and sits in on a dance class, convincing Mr. Carpenter, Parker Harris, to have him adoption despite the class being full. He did so well that the teacher makes an exception and lets him join. As Eldra walks out down the halls, he passes the trophy cabinet where Demi hides with the Van Helsing detector. Not only does it light up, but the signal is so strong that it sends a beam into the sky. V finds Sophie in the cafeteria telling her what happened, and she tries to use mind control on Dean Merriweather. how that she tried to use microphone Dean Meriwether. Demi appears in Sophie's soup to warn V about the Van Helsing detector going off. Just then, V's parents, Oksana, Kate Renders, and Boris Holloway, Jeff Merochan, rush in and announce that they're taking V home. Dean Mederer comes in wearing a V t-shirt and fangirling out of her over their daughter. V's parents take her to pack up her dorm as the spell on Dean Mederer wears off. V finishes packing up her dorm and asks her parents if she can go back to the dining room to say goodbye to her friends. They agree to give her 5 minutes. We can't go down without a fight, V tells Sophie. When they get to the cafeteria, she borrows a student's guitar, recruits Sophie to help her perform the song she was writing, Where I Belong. Everyone loves the performance, including V's parents. They still think their daughter's in danger and want to stick to their plan of taking her home. Inspired by the message of V's song, when Eldra's mom calls again, he tells Brittany that he's ready to tell her he changed his classes. He answers the call, but mom immediately starts talking about sending him a care package. I think he's getting cookies. He decides to delay sharing the news. In the hallway of the trophy case, V begs her parents to reconsider, promises that she can keep herself safe. Then he appears to tell V's parents that he accidentally pressed a button on the detector which sent the signal. He apologizes for the false alarm, lying, and telling them there isn't a Van Helsing nearby. V's parents agree to let her stay. When they leave, Demi reveals that he heard V's performance and agrees that Wilson Hall is where she belongs. He just asks her to be careful since there is, in fact, a Van Helsing at the school. Ezra receives the care package from his mom and heads to the secret rehearsal room. There aren't any cookies, just the first Slayer steak with a note that says, "This is your future." Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, watch fully, and send donations on Patreon monthly or Ko-Fi one-time donations. Have a blessed day. See you next video visit. Bye for now. Bye!